Kaya nga tayo naghihingalo sa buhay, it's because all we think is we can do this when we have money. But here's the thing, we worship money as if the money is end all and be all.
May mga tao na trabaho, di ba? Pero feeling nila kahit na yon, hindi pa rin sila stable.
If we don't look what's inside and we keep on running after external things, then it will be a never-ending chase of may butas ako, kailangan ko takpat.
This is about you. Be the master of your own life. So angkinin mo muli ang inyong oras.
Let your ambition be guided by faith.
That, my dear friends, is what makes a life worth living. So always pause, always ask, always wonder, what's next?
Hey! Welcome back to What's Next with Jovit Moya, where we unpack life's ups and downs and remind you, you are not alone in the journey of life. So maraming salamat sa inyong lahat na tumatangkilik sa atin and spread the word. Ask your friends to listen in. Baka meron tayong topic dito na makakatulong sa'yo. Baka may topic tayo dito na makaka-relate ka. And here, lagi tayo may mga guest na may mga wisdom na dinadala para sa ating, dealing with ourselves at mga pagbabago. Sa araw-araw nating pagsisikap, mga kaibigan. Madalas, may tahimik na tanong sa loob natin. Bakit parang kulang pa rin? Bakit kahit anong sipag natin, ang hirap pa rin abutin ang financial stability now more than ever, mga kaibigan? Dapat natin pag-usapan ang usaping pinansyal. Marahil hindi lang ito tungkol sa pera, kundi sa mga mas malalim na pag-unawa kung paano natin hinaharap ang ating pang-araw-araw na buhay, ang ating mga responsibilidad sa sarili, sa pamilya, sa trabaho, at mga sarili nating paniniwala, yung sarili nating kultura, yung ating family culture. Baka yan ang mga issue, di ba? Kaya sa episode na to, makakasama natin ang isang Transformational Life Coach para mas malalim pang mapag-usapan natin ito. Mga kaibigan, let's all welcome Coach Russ Juson!
Wow, thank you, Jovit, and thank you for having me here. It was great conversation a while ago, and let's do this.
Oy, marami ako natutunan sa'yo kanina. Impressed ako kanina, Ayan. Russ! Is that short for Russell or is that really just Russ?
No, my real name is Aquarius.
Oh, wow, okay.
And kaya Russ ang tawag sa akin dahil my first job, okay, I was trying to impress everyone. Okay. Lagi ako nagmamadali. Get it done, get it perfect. So, ayan na si Rush. Sa Bisaya kasi ako, naging Russ. So, hanggang ngayon, if you know me as a little child up until university, then it's Aquarius. But right now, as an adult, it's Russ.
Kasi lagi nag-rush.
Yeah,
Yon.
laging nagmamadali.
So, you are a transformational coach.
Yes.
But we're not talking about corporate transformation. You're talking about personal transformation.
Yeah,
diba?
Because this is what I believe, no? Both personal and professional, you're the same person. So the transformation will not come from anyone else, but it will come from you, the inner being.
Wow. Gano'ng katagal mo na ginagawa to?
By July this year, 20th year already. Anniversary.
Wow. Okay. That's matagal na. In short, kumbaga, pag nakinig ka sa kanya, para ka nakasandal sa poder. Kasi 20 years, that's matibay.
Yep.
Matibay. So, of course, I asked you this kanina. Paano mo na pag-umpisahan to? I mean, it's not like you woke up one day and you said you're gonna be a di ba? Incremental steps yan eh.
Yeah, you have to understand, no? I grew up in the extremely disadvantaged style life, no? Not because I come from a good family, but because I grew up feeling ko bobo ako. Okay? Tapos ang pangit-pangit pa.
Is this because of the culture? Siyempre, magkakaibang culture.
Yeah.
Diba? You grew up in Davao. So I'm sure the culture there is different from growing up in Makati or growing up in Batangas or somewhere
Very
else.
conservative. Again, I come from a good family, except that there's a requirement in school. No? So, ibig sabihin, yung intelligence namin dati was determined with reading, writing, arithmetic, English, which was actually not part of my intelligence. So therefore, medyo feeling ko bobo ko, right? Pangit pa, taba-taba. And all of the disadvantage, plus the fact that in the 70s, pag hiwalay magulang mo, weird ka. Right? Unlike ngayon, pag hindi hiwalay magulang mo, bakit hindi? No? But I felt the weirdest kid in the school is because ako lang yung batang mahiwalay magulang. So can you imagine? So emotionally, I felt left behind because family love was not there. Physically,
Was this a religious Catholic school or something?
yes, religious Catholic school.
Okay,
But
okay.
because there was no Protestant school at that time, I grew up Protestant. So can you imagine also that yung banggaan ng religion? Again, all the disadvantage. So therefore, nakakatuwa lang because when I graduated college, okay, I actually applied for more than 100 companies. None of them wanted to hire me again because again my grades hindi siya ka hire. My looks, not even Jollibee and McDonald's wanted me. So my first job was that of a janitor / promodizer. And pinaka-blessing doon is because my first boss was never a boss or a manager, but he was a mentor. So he told me, if you want to improve your life, go on a personal development. So at age 20, 21, na-introduce sa akin personal development. So I was able to develop myself. And at the age 35, I felt I was the most successful human being alive I know in my own category, in my own family, in my own batches. Except that nobody knew I was going through something. At that time, hindi uso yung depression. Hindi uso yung suicidal. Unlike ngayon, usong-uso na, no? And nobody knew that I was, trying to look for help from, psychologists, psychotherapists. And the more I was looking for help, pati spiritista, pinasukan ko na. And one day, somebody told me, okay, I think I know what you're going through. I want you to attend this seminar. So it was my first ever awakening seminar. And the awakening seminar allowed me to understand na lahat pala ng life struggle, yung intro mo kanina na bakit may kulang, is simply because of a reflection of my belief system about myself, on how I see myself, my self-image growing up. That was a reflection of the results that I have in my life. And the moment I started acknowledging that, the moment I started releasing that and reframing it in a way that all the pain I went through is now my life purpose. So I left my full-time job at age 35, back to zero. And little did I know that my calling, which is my mission, is to heal humanity's wounds through the transformation that I do right now, that is now helping thousands of people to see themselves differently, heal themselves, so they can now start to create good life. Everything that's going on in our life right now is coming from that belief system.
Alam mo, bagay na bagay ka dito sa show na to because dito we talk about transformation, personal transformation. I always tell people, you reinvent yourself to something better kung saan ka mas malakas. Sabi nga ni Russ kanina, mahina siya sa ganito, mahina siya sa ganun sa pag-aaral, pero nakita niya kung saan siya mas malakas. So, pero marami tayong mga pwedeng gawin sa buhay natin. Usually, kailangan meron kang bala. May finances ka.
Yeah.
Minsan mahirap mag-reinvent ng sarili pag wala kang finances. Although marami namang paraan to reinvent yourself nang wala kang finances. And I've already discussed that several times on this show. You can go back, guys. Kailangan lang talaga dyan lakas ng loob tsaka yung willpower to say, I am who I am. Pero teka, since today we're talking about finances, no? At alam naman natin na mas madali mag-reinvent ng sarili pag maski pa paano may ipon ka, maski pa paano meron kang sasandalan ng konti.
Yes, and if that's the only criteria for you to reinvent yourself, nobody will do that. Why? Again, this kind of mindset is all about survival mindset. Kaya nga tayo naghihingalo sa buhay. It's because all we think is we can do this when we have money. But here's the thing, we worship money as if the money is end all and be all. Money is just a byproduct of what's really going on inside. But here's the thing. We were all taught that you can only achieve money with a certain level of hustling, certain level of grinding, certain level of you working so hard. And yes, you may get the money, but you forget the most essential part, which is happiness.
May mga tao na trabaho, di ba? Pero feeling nila kahit na yon hindi pa rin sila stable. kumikita naman sila.
Kahit,
Hindi nila
kahit ngayon kumikita na, hindi pa rin stable eh. Because again, we put money as the end all and be all. And I would always say, money is just a reflection of what's going on inside. So which means if we do not take a look at on what's going on inside, yes, the money may show up, you may lose it, may show up, you lose it. But at the end of the day, why do we want a lot of money?
So yung financial stability nakarelate sa emotional ba stability or personal stability? Ano ba yun?
It's still internal. So what not just money, but health, relationship, meaning, purpose, it's really what's going on inside. So if we don't look what's inside and we keep on running after external things, then it will be a never-ending chase of may butas ako, kailangan ko takpan.
Pero sa ngayon, I'm sure maraming tao na, siyempre, kung tinignan mo yung Maslow's hierarchy of needs, bago ka pumunta dun sa emotional needs mo, right now, kailangan ko kumain.
Exactly.
Right now, kailangan ko ng bahay. Right now, kailangan ko ng...
Agree.
Diba? So pag dun sa survival mode na yan, when can you say na, I'm surviving or I'm more than surviving because I'm financially stable? Kailan mo masabi na financially stable ka?
At the end of the day, it's just, again, when this is my own definition, it's not even the numbers that I see in the bank. It's not even what I have. It's the capacity to believe that no matter what's going on outside, you have that inner knowing that you'll always be provided. I mean, if you look at, again, can I quote something in Matthew?
Go.
Look at the birds in the air. They don't work. They don't harvest. They don't store in the barn. But yet, they're well taken care of. Then we forgot that at the end of the day, somebody up there, the source, the universe, God, has always been providing for us, except that we don't believe in His capacity to provide. That's why we make it really tight. We make it really hard. We make it in a way wherein survival is everything. Why? Because again, mindset, scarcity. There's always never enough for everyone. Versus a new mindset that, everything that we want, the blessing that we want, the money to want, it's just like an air.
Totoo yan.
Yun lang, what's stopping us is our scarcity mindset. What's stopping us is the mindset of, poor mindset, which everything starts with still the inner state of belief system of this mindset.
Alam mo, gusto ko yan kasi yung Pilipino laging mahilig ibaba yung sarili. Kasi mahirap lang kami. Ganun lang yan kasi mahirap tayo. Laging ganun, anak, kasi mahirap tayo. So kailangan, alam mo, magtulong-tulong tayo. Rather than i-push yung anak na talagang go all the way, ang nangyayari, nagiging burden yung pamilya kasi, kailangan tulungan mo yung kapatid mo. Kailangan tulungan mo ako.
We call it a sandwich generation.
Paano ba yun? Sige nga.
You're taking care of your own children, your own family. You're taking care of your parents. You're taking care of your siblings. And it's never-ending cycle that we need to start cutting that off.
Minsan, sabi nila, hindi ba selfishness yan? Siyempre, alam mo naman ng Pilipino, ano na sasabihin ng ibang kamag-anak, pinabayaan mo yung pamilya mo?
Mas selfish yung gagawin mo lang dahil para sabihin magaling ka, mabait ka. That's where the selfishness comes in. But if you start taking care of yourself so you do not become a burden to people below you, to people above you, then that's where real self-first comes in. Again, balik tayo. Kultura ito 300 years. Diba? Aliping sa gigilid, aliping mamamahay. So which is we were all wired up that if I want to be happy and successful, I must rely on somebody else. At naipasa yan. But here's the thing. If you're successful, that's your fault. But if you're a failure, that's your fault. Do not depend on somebody else. And yun yung naging nangyari. We are all depending on somebody else. Why? Because of our mentality called victim mentality. I was born poor and therefore I will die poor.
Yun.
That's the victim mentality versus, yes, I was born poor. And you know what? The best way I want to honor my parents is for me to get out of poverty. But here's the thing. Sama-sama tayo. Diba? Ito yung kasabihan, no? Bahala, saging, basta loving. Masarap naman ang steak.
Diba? Totoo.
Diba? I mean, that's the mentality that we all settle that I hope we should be angry about. Because we don't deserve that. We deserve a good life. We deserve better life. Except we're just okay being poor. We're just okay laughing. Even I like us Filipino because we create humor around everything, except that if we always create humor around everything, walang nangyayari sa buhay. I mean, Jovit, I
Totoo
don't know if you're
yan.
happy with
Totoo
what's
yan.
going on right now. I mean, we just create humor around all of these issues when in fact, no. Sorry, but we have to be angry about it because we deserve a better life. We deserve a better Philippines so that we don't suffer anymore. But here's the thing. We settle for just being okay. We settle for just poor.
Hindi pa
And it's not
tayo,
okay. I mean, we have all the resources in the world.
wala pa yung presidente na long-term mag-isip, may vision. Hindi pa tayo nagkaroon ng Senado o Kongreso na long-term din ang mga plano. Lagi yung mga batas natin, ban-aid, or yung mga dahil may clamor ngayon, kailangan may batas na ngayon. Nobody thinks of yung if future-proof yung mga
Yep.
laws.
That's why, Jovit, I bless the government. Whoever is sitting down, bless them. Okay? But hindi ko iaasa ang pag-asenso ng Pilipinas.
Dapat tayo mismo ang umasa sa sarili natin kung paano
That's
natin
why
pa-asenso
we
yun.
have this type of platform na hopefully Pinoy, makinig kayo, wag na puro kabalastugan. I mean, I love humor, except that if everything is humor around it, walang mangyari sa buhay ko. That's why we must create contents like this so that magising kayo Pilipinas. Lalo ngayon, we are now living in the best time of the world history because everything is available.
May internet. Tayo,
Diba?
lumaki, walang internet.
Diba? Every time has equal playing field and
Correct.
yet we don't take advantage of it. Why? Because ayaw nating i-develop yung sarili natin.
So, 'di ba may anong tawag dito? Yung tinatawag natin na kamag-anak incorporated. Yung bang sometimes hindi nagsasucceed yung mga kumpanya kasi puro lang sila magkakamag-anak doon tapos nag-aaway-away pa. 'Di ba? Ayaw nila mag-take ng risk to have investors or everything else na may professionals na everything else. Kailangan ang i-hire nila una kamag-anak.
Yeah.
Is that a good business model?
No. In fact, no, the most dysfunctional organization on earth is family. And yet here we are starting to work things together, and a lot of family business-owned companies, I just feel it's already crumbling. Why? Because again, it's yun, mga nepotism na wala namang qualification, hindi naman gumagawa. To the point wherein we just wanna guard our finances versus, okay, finances is supposed to be shared. Prosperity for all. And that's something we wanna start looking into as far as running business is concerned as well.
Alam mo sa ibang bansa, pag sinabing middle class ka, the middle class is robust enough na kaya niyang suportahan ng ekonomiya. Kasi may domestic spending eh. Ang nag-spend domestically are the middle class. So that encourages commerce, di ba? Finances, it builds the economy. Pero sa Pilipinas, okay ba? Tama ba yung sinabing ang middle class sa Pilipinas ang bagong mahirap? Kasi isang appendicitis away from poverty ka lang. Dito pag na-hospital ka, milyon ang halaga eh. Sa ibang bansa, halos lahat ng bansa libre ang ospital. Pero sa Pilipinas, milyon ang halaga.
Nakakalungkot dahil we're supposed to encourage people to put up their own business, create their own economy. But my God, mag-a-apply ka lang ng business permit. Abot ng 10 years. But it's supporting people to just wait for ayuda. And that's... Ay, Lord, bless the Philippines.
So,
This is depressing conversation. But no, we don't deserve this, Jovit. I mean, we deserve better. We
pero
deserve better. But again, our job here is to awaken that Filipino, dakilang lahi tayo. Kaya natin to. Huwag na tayong umasa kung kani-kanino. Asahan natin sarili natin. But you have to do the job. You have to do the work. Work on you. Because at the end of the day, when you start to work on you, you become valuable. Sabi nga, in the soul level, we're all equal. But in the marketplace, we have our own value. But we need to understand, ano bang halaga ko kung nasaan ako? Pabigat ba ako sa kumpanya or padagdag ako? And if you want better income, make sure you start developing yourself. Start understanding there's a lot of new knowledge, new experience, new technology that you can actually start to learn for free.
Alam mo, ang tamang sinasabi ni Ras, no? Alam niyo mga kaibigan, location also matters. At yung halaga mo ay depende rin kung nasaan ka. Kaya sometimes, kailangan mo rin lumisan. Bigyan kitang ehemplo. Kung ikaw ay iinom ng gulaman at sago, kung ikaw ay, sabihin natin, nasa probinsya, baka 5 piso lang yan. Pero subukan mong maupo sa Manila Peninsula at umorder ka ng sagot gulaman. 250 pesos ang isang baso niya. Pero yun din ang laman nun eh. Arnibal, tubig, sago, gulaman. Walang pinagkaiba. So, lahat tayo, yung sinasabi ni Ras kanina, meron tayong value, di ba? Yung personal value natin. Baka yung lugar kung nasaan ka ay walang oportunidad para umangat ang value mo.
Exactly.
So, kailangan lumisan ka ron, lumayo ka dun sa... Kasi takot tayong lumayo sa pamilya. Yun ang problema sa Pilipino. There are so many ways to do this kung talagang gusto mo.
Yep.
Ang problema, ayaw mo talagang umalis. Yun lang talaga ang sagot doon eh. So, kung gusto mong umangat ang value mo, abay, lumisan ka. So, teka, babalik tayo sa'yo. Ikaw ang guest, hindi ako.
Babalikan ko yun, if you want to change your life, gusto mo mag-transforming buhay. This is based on my own observation, working with people for the past 20 years, for more than 100,000 people that I observe, 55% of your transformation depends on your environment. So wherever you are planted, it determines whether you're growing or you're shrinking. And therefore, one of the many things that I would always recommend, tumingin ka ng iba't ibang pamamaraan na makalabas ka kasi makita mo maraming ibang teknolohiya, maraming ibang idea, maraming iba't ibang tao na makakatulong sa'yo to start thinking differently, to start living life differently. And that's where transformation happens largely coming from your theory of space. That's 55%. Environment.
So, yung environment na yan, kanina may binanggit ka na merong survival or victim mindset ang Pilipino. Diba? So, getting out of that environment, is that the first step para they can get rid of that victim mentality?
That's a major step. That's a big step.
So, ano yung first step?
Okay, the first step is number one, awareness, self-awareness, that everything that's going on in my life has nothing to do with the external things, but everything to do with me, which is 99% of things that's happening in my life right now, whether I'm healthy or not, whether I'm poor or not, whether I am, happy or not, has nothing to do with external, but has everything to do with your internal world.
So, yun ang first step.
That's first step.
Kumbaga, introspect.
Self-awareness.
Introspect
yes,
muna.
self-awareness. The introspection begins with also self-confrontation. Okay? And a lot of us don't want confrontation. Filipinos ayaw ng real talk. Dadaan natin lahat ng humor.
Tsaka isi-sugarcoat mo pa yan ng kung ano-ano.
Correct. So, again, in the end, when you don't have self-confrontation, nothing will happen. Hindi ka makapagsabi dahil again, ano kayang sasabihin nila, nakakahiya. And I think that's one of the biggest, I should say, poverty mindset. Nakakahiya, baka anong sabihin. Parang, so what?
So what? Kung ano sabihin nila?
That's your life. So stop allowing yourself to be dictated by external forces. The most important part is go within. So again, self-awareness, self-confrontation, but useless ang self-awareness, self-confrontation, not unless you have, I call it, radical responsibility. Which means no amount of hurt and pain you can hold on for you to blame other people. But it's you will have to take ownership. Yes, something happened to me and I have a choice to release it and take ownership with my full life. At the end of the day, as Filipino, we have a lot of jebs, justification, excuses, and a lot of stories. Oo nga, ang dami mong kwento, umasenso ba ang buhay mo? Hindi. Stop it. It's not working anymore. And yet, we still buy all of these things. And no transformation will happen in my life, specifically if you're broke, if you're unhealthy, if you're lonely, simply because you still live in your JEBS. Justification, excuses, blame stories.
Okay lang ba to, pag sinabi change your story, does that mean you also forget your past?
Okay, great question. Never forget your past because there's always a lesson to learn, which is forget the drama, remember the lesson.
Yun.
Because at the end of the day, all the pain that we went through is actually an offshoot to your purpose to create a life that you want. Again, let's take a look at transformation. The ultimate metaphor for transformation, Jovit, is caterpillar. The higat cannot be a beautiful paro-paro not unless he goes through the cocoon. But we don't want the cocoon. We don't want the darkness. We want the pain. We don't want all this. But that gives you all the muscles. That gives you all the resilience. That gives you all the adversity quotient for you to face life. Because at the end of the day, if we talk about finances, sabi nga, if you want $1 million, be able to solve a $1 million problem. Pero kung yung drama mo lang, hindi mo masolve, paano ka ba $1 million problem? Ambisyosa ka lang, pero wala kang gawing action because why? You still want your gems around you.
Bawal ang gems. Char. Hindi. Hindi. So, no, well, it's nice, no? I mean, bago yun, gems. Gagamitin ko. Pwede ba hiramin yung gems na yan?
Of course, do it.
Bago yan, I really like that. I really like that.
And then when we're in gems, we go to carry our bags. It's not the Hermes or Louis Vuitton bags, but it's the bags that you carry that becomes your, I should say,
Ito yung pabigat siya.
cancer. Blame, anger, guilt, and shame.
Blame,
Anger,
anger,
guilt,
and
shame.
Ang Pilipino laging galit eh.
Exactly.
Pero hindi naman natatranslate yung galit na yon. Sa social media lang sila galit.
Correct.
Sa kwentuhan galit sila. Pero wala kang nakikita sa taong bayan na overt act na ilabas yung galit na yan.
Exactly. Di ba? Kunwari, politika, galit na galit ka kasi doon na sa banda. Pag nakita mo, nagpa-selfie ka pa. Parang, ano yun? I'm not saying you put down people. The same here is change must happen and I must be angry what's going on. But change will not be requiring from all of these people. But I myself will have to make sure that I campaign for my change and I will create a certain amount of change for people around me.
Isa na sila nung kanilang mga transformation na yan. Siyempre, you're on the journey, di ba, ganyan. Ano ba yung mga bagay-bagay na masasabi natin na may affect yung stability nung proseso nung transformation na yan?
All right. I can give you 3 steps. Okay. First step is number 1, identify what are the things that's holding you back. What are the things that's stopping you from creating the life that you want. If it's finances, let's start with number 1, verbal conditioning. Paano ba tayo how do we speak on a day-to-day basis? And a lot of us will always say, mahirap lang po ako, mahirap lang po ako. Yes, na-establish natin na mahirap ka lang, pero gusto mo bang mahirap? Stop talking about the things that you don't want. People who are sick, may sakit ako, kawawa ako, may sakit ako, kawawa. Nobody cares. So again, very important is let's understand our language.
Sige.
Let's understand the words that we speak. So first, identify what are the things that are stopping you from creating the life that you want, from the creating the life that you want, is your verbal conditioning. Sabi nga sa Joel 10:5 or 5:10, let the weak say, I am strong. Let the poor say, I am rich. So which means only speak of what you want. And that begins our transformational process. Be aware of the language you're speaking. Now, a lot of people don't know what to say simply because, again, for the longest time, laging sinasabi na nanay, mahirap lang tayo, mahirap lang tayo. And all of a sudden, kahit meron ka ng pera, mahirap ka pa rin because that is where it all starts. The language. That's why I would always recommend.
We believe what we say sometimes.
Exactly.
Kasi yun ang nagko-condition
Your
sa
word,
utak natin.
create your world. So which means it's very important that we have podcasts like this because, again, you have to have new language.
So, ito bang change of language, change ng pananaw? Does this help yung tinatawag natin na financial stability? Kasi may kinikita naman ng Pilipino.
Oh, yeah.
Ang problema sa atin kasi, yung meron tayong inipon ng konti, pero pagdating ng birthday, ayaw natin ng birthday cake lang. Kailangan may party, kailangan may inuman.
Bonggahan.
Ngayon, mauubos yung savings ko, uutang pa ako.
Okay. That's very good. But again, the process is number 1, kung ayaw mo yung financial life mo, ang una mong gawin is, again, awareness. And your awareness will come from the language that you have. And therefore, you need to have a certain level of brainwash. Paano ba mag-brainwash ngayon? Okay? Guys, etong podcast na to, i-save mo, pakinggan mo araw-araw hanggang ma-memorize mo kasi magbabago ngayon ang pananaw mo. But however, how will that change? Because I would always say, according to Albert Barabian, if you want transformation, language or words only affect 7%.
7% lang.
Okay, that's why alam mo, pero hindi nangyayari kasi alam mo lang. 38%, this is on the second step, this is what we call specific event. specific, I should say, experience. So which is, kung ano yung alam mo, kailangan every day you must experience it yourself. Every day you must allow yourself to be in a space wherein na-experience ko yung sinasabi ko. Which is you need to now create a daily goal, a daily rhythm, so that whatever you're saying is all about, let's say, I want more money. So the language here is...
So kailangan sabihin ko, magkakapera ako bukas.
Exactly.
Parang ganon.
No, it's what we call affirmation. So money comes to be easily, effortlessly, in a humongous way. Now, when we talk about it, let's now understand, but at the end of the day, money is just a result of how you are inside. And therefore, pag tinignan natin yung wealth, that English term, it's come from origin of wele, which is general well-being. So with or without money, your first focus here is to take a look at do I feel good about myself? So which is by me taking care of myself, that means it gives me now an experience of, all right, with or without money, I'm okay because I feel good about myself. Then that's where the specific event, specific experience comes in. So which means from the mind, we now go to the heart. The heart is now the emotion. Your emotion of general well-being will allow you to attract more of what you want because that's the vibrational energy. That's the frequency. That's what you carry with you. That when you carry this certain energy, when you carry this certain frequency, this certain vibe, then chances are there will be more opportunity that will come to you because you now carry what you say to how you feel deep inside. So that's the second part.
So
which is
kumbaga
what we call-
sinet up mo na lahat ng pundasyon
Exactly.
para makuha mo yung mga goals mo, yung financial success mo. Kasi attitude, yun eh, yung heart and mind, attitude, yun eh.
How you perceive the world.
Oo eh.
Which means at the end of the day, eto lang tayo. Kaya ka mahirap kasi sa 10 nangyari sa buhay mo, 9 yung pangit, isa yung maganda, saan ka nakatutok? Sa pangit. And the more you acknowledge what's not working in your life, the more it will show up. Here's the thing. My invitation, if you want more money, forget the 9. Andyan yan. Look at the 1. Alright? Nakakahinga ko. Thank you, Lord.
Gratitude.
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 Because the more you're grateful about, more of the things will show up. So which means the step here is acknowledge the things that you like in your life, the smallest things, not just acknowledge it, appreciate it, praise it, give it more power. Because when you start to appreciate and give it more power, now you allow, you don't force, you allow the blessing to come into your life. The fact that you can still wake up today, wow. The fact that I can see already. The fact that I still have 2 hands, it's working. The fact that I can still stand and move. The fact there's plenty of people around me. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And this is now the energy that you carry. Remember, money is just paper, but in real terms, it's called currency, corriente, energy. Which means if you have a lot of energy, that will now attract more of what you want if money is what you want. That's why I always say, money is energy. Whoever has the highest energy will always earn the best.
This is Crossroads Media.